Good morning to all of you, my beautiful butterfly tribe. Welcome to The Way You See Me, Heart Healing Ministries. Today on the channel, we're going to discuss why it is you do not look like what you've been through, how your enemies have set traps, how they've done things purposely to destroy your life, how they've put a lot of things in place, but they simply do not understand why you do not look like all the stuff you've been through. And the only reason for that is because we serve an Almighty One who never leaves nor forsakes his own. He promised that he would never leave us nor forsake us. The Messiah said he would be with us even until the end of the age. So today, that particular scripture we're going to discuss comes from Daniel, the 3rd chapter. It's a very familiar passage, but we're going to discuss it because someone may need to hear this message today. We're going to start at Daniel chapter 3, starting at verse 15. It is written. Actually, we're going to start at verse 14. Nebuchadnezzar spoke and said to them, "Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my mighty one? And you do not do obeisance to the gold image which I have set up? Now if you are ready, when you hear the sound of the horn, the flute and the zither, the lyre, the harp, the pipes, and all kinds of instruments, and you fall down and do obeisance to the image which I have made, good. But if you do not do obeisance, you are immediately thrown into the midst of the burning fire. And who is the Almighty One who does deliver you from my hands?" Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the sovereign, "O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. For if our Almighty One, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning furnace of fire and from your hand, O sovereign, he does deliver. But if not, let it be known to you, O sovereign, that we do not serve your mighty one, nor do we do obeisance to the gold image which you have set up." Then Nebuchadnezzar was filled with wrath, and the expression on his face changed toward the 3 Hebrew boys. He responded and gave orders that they heat up the furnace 7 times more than it was usual to heat it up. And he commanded some of the strongest men of the army to bind these 3 Hebrew boys and throw them into the burning furnace of fire. So these men were bound in their coats, their trousers, and their turbans, and their other garments were thrown into the midst of the burning fire. Thereupon, because the sovereign's order was urgent and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire killed those men who took up the 3 men. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound in the midst of the burning furnace of fire. Then sovereign Nebuchadnezzar was amazed and stood up in haste and spoke and said to the counselors, "Did we not throw 3 men bound in the midst of the fire?" They answered and said to the sovereign, "Certainly, O sovereign." He answered and said, "Look, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they are not hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of the Almighty One." Then Nebuchadnezzar went near the mouth of the burning fire. He spoke and said, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High, come out and come here." Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came from the midst of the fire. And the viceroys, the nobles, and the governors, and the sovereign's counselors gathered together, seeing these 3 men on whose body the fire had no power, and the hair on their head was not singed, nor were their garments changed, nor did the smell of fire come from them. May Yahuah add a blessing to the readers, hearers, and the doers of his set-apart word. So Nebuchadnezzar created a golden image. he instructed everybody in the province to bow down before this image. But the three Hebrew boys, or the three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they understood the assignment given to them by the Almighty One, which was for them never to bow to another image, never to bow down to idols. So they stood firm on what they believed, what they had been taught. And because of this, Nebuchadnezzar gave orders for these men to be burned in the fiery furnace, heated 7 times more than it usually is heated. So how does that apply to us? We're living in a time where we're constantly being told to bow down to images and do obeisance before idols to please those rulers of this world. That's what Nebuchadnezzar was. He was a world ruler. But the Almighty One is all-powerful. There's none above him. So the Hebrew boys understood that if it was possible, then the Almighty One would come and deliver them. But if not, they would die before worshiping an idol. Children of the Most High, this is the hour that we are in right now, that we stand firm on the commands given to us by the Almighty One. Not long ago, there were some very awkward orders that went forth into the world, and people's livelihoods were threatened. And so a lot of people bowed to what the world was demanding of them. That was a trial run. We're coming up upon a time where these things are going to come back. And I hope that we stand firm as children of the Most High. And we go through this fire, understanding that He will deliver us. That not a hair fiber on our head is going to be singed. Our clothes will be untouched. The fire of this world will have no power over us. And we're going to come out of that without the smell of fire upon us. People are going to wonder, just like some of us in this hour who stood firm, there are people wondering why you don't look like the things you've been through. They made your life hell on earth. They heated the fires of your life 7 times more than you were accustomed to. But you went through that, knowing that you would never be left alone because of the promise given to us by the Most High through His Son, that He would never leave us nor forsake us. Some of them get close to you to see if you smell like the crap that they've put you through. That if you have any after effect on the things that they've done to your life, and they can't understand why your life is still a sacrifice unto the Most High, and you put off a sweet fragrance into the nostrils of your Father. They don't understand why you don't have the stench of death on you, because what they sent into your life was sent into your life to destroy you, and you came out of it. But the Most High allowed you to go through that fiery furnace, that hell, because He was refining you. He understood that when you came out of that, you were going to be like pure gold. And He would be proud to call you His own. So stand firm, my brothers and sisters. Let them wonder why you don't look like what you've been through. Let them wonder why you don't walk around looking a hot mess. Let them wonder why you still smell like strawberries or fruit in summertime. Let them wonder. What they're wondering is not of your concern. You, like the 3 Hebrew boys, need to stand firm on your belief in this hour, knowing that this too shall pass. And on the other side of it, you're going to look better than you did when it started. You're going to smell better than you did when it started. Your life is going to be a greater sacrifice to your Father than when it started, because you stood firm knowing that if he could deliver you, and remember, there's nothing impossible for our Almighty One. We go through things because he allows it, because it all works together for our good. But if he chooses to allow our lives to end in death, to stand firm on his word, then we must say, for the Messiah I live, and for him I die. Because there is no one as mighty as Yahuah Almighty, the creator of the heavens and the earth. I'd rather stand firm with him and have the world hate me than to gain the love of this world and gain the wrath of my Father. I hope you've enjoyed today's message. Remember this, tell yourself, look in the mirror and say, I don't look like what I've been through. And that's why the enemy is confused. Keep your head up to the hills from which your helps come from. Love you all.